Police records show women are being stalked with Apple AirTags across the country. I told you there was another Apple story.
You're right.
You didn't believe me. Motherboard obtained reports of stalking, harassment, and abuse using AirTags, targeting victims of intimate partner violence. We knew this. We know this. When it first happened, we assumed this would take place. Then we had the reports of the stolen vehicles. Then we had the reports of the Android app coming out for tracking the trackers if you're the one being tracked. And Apple kind of scrambling to figure out a way to solve some of these problems, or at least alleviate some of these problems. 1 year ago this month, Apple unveiled the AirTag, a shiny half-dollar size coin with a speaker, Bluetooth antenna, and battery inside, which helps users track their missing items. Lovely when you're using it the way you should be using it. But we have more police records now reviewed by Motherboard, that shows that these things are not being used the right way. This is records mentioning AirTags in an 8-month period from dozens of the country's largest police departments. Of the 150 total police reports mentioning AirTags, 50 of those cases are women calling the police because they started getting notifications that their whereabouts were being tracked by an AirTag they didn't own. 50 of the 150, you probably got 50 more that are stolen vehicles, and the 50 others might be false alarms. Of those, 25 could identify a man in their lives, ex-partners, husbands, bosses, who they strongly suspected planted the AirTags on their cars in order to follow and harass them. Those women reported that current and former intimate partners were the most likely people to harm women overall, using AirTags to stalk and harass them. No good. No good. The AirTag tracking, it's the bug from the movies, but for everyone, and accessible at every major city and every major Apple store and every major online shopping venue. It's just so easy and so accessible.
Mm-hmm. And we always read about these news stories, and they're always negative. There isn't like a good, positive story that comes out of an AirTag.
Wow. Well, I'm sure
just based on our experience.
I know. I'm sure you have the typical ones happening all the time, but it's like when you reported on the Tesla exploding in the garage. Mm-hmm. It's a high-profile company that makes an enormous, ungodly amount of money selling us things, and we assume that for the most part they work the way they're supposed to. And there's plenty of people who get their
find their keys,
get
find
their backpack,
their bike,
get their laptops, or like whatever, that it goes the way it's supposed to go. But that wouldn't make news story, would it? And ultimately, Will, this is how it works in our brains. It's like these two events are not equivalent. So let's say one of these women has an AirTag experience where they recover a lost item. And they go, couple points for AirTag. But then they have a separate experience where they're actually being actively stalked by a person.
Yeah.
They don't, like, it's not equivalent. You're like, I'd rather lose the item that in the first place, as opposed to having this double-sided scenario. Now, at least in these reports, it looks like they were able to make the report because they got the notification that their whereabouts were being tracked. So that's Apple's system working the way that it's intended. But as we mentioned, if you don't have these iPhones, if you've got an Android device, or if you're not paying attention to these notifications, or if there's any kind of malfunction in the system, or if the speakers are disabled like those sellers on Etsy were doing, then those wouldn't become reports because people may have never known the ways in which they were being tracked. Either way, just be careful out there, folks. And to the dudes doing these things, put your AirTags away. Stop it.
Yeah.
Bad ideas. This is no good. No good strategy here. Good Lord. Like, stop being so, like, just.
I'm literally fucking shaking. Pull that shit up. Look what I just found on my car.
Yeah. There you go.
Tucked in right here.
Yeah.
Like, all the way in the fucking back.
Wow.
This is where we.
Crazy. Yeah, man. Very unfortunate.
Well, it's, I don't know. I don't know what Apple does about it. How much can they do? They've kind of done everything they can do.
Well, they can just can the project.
Well, that's what you've been saying. Get rid of the product altogether. I don't know if we're at that point yet. It's really unfortunate. People can't get it together. Get it together, people.
Dude, I have a conspiracy.
Go ahead.
What if these AirTags are just out there for people to buy iPhones
Yeah.
to be able to check?
Yeah, we talked about this.
Oh, okay.
Back when it first came out, I think when I was doing the unboxing video, I was like, before the Android app even existed, that the only anti-tracking device you can have on you would be an iPhone when it comes to AirTags. The other interesting part is, like, with the other tracking devices, these stories never popped up with Tile and whoever else.
Yeah.
Because these devices have existed. Now, I don't know if it just had to do with those products being too low profile or the ease of use, or for whatever reason, these type of stories are popping up more frequently. But definitely, if I'm like a young woman and I'm attractive and I'm feeling threatened, I don't think I guess you don't have to be attractive in this case, but like probably it could increase the amount of targeting or something like that. Then I'm going to consider having the iPhone once somebody else tells me, hey, your iPhone's going to automatically notify you if one of these devices is on you.
And the idea of thinking like getting an iPhone is problem solved is way better than thinking, oh, these AirTags are like, I can't abolish these AirTags. I have no control over it. So I'm just going to get an iPhone. That's way easier.
Yes.
Than writing a petition to cancel AirTags.
Yeah, or downloading an app and wondering if it's working at all times on your Android device or if it's updated or whatever else. It's weird.